To be empathetic is a beautiful thing, for it often encompasses the saying, beauty is pain. I know that pain quite well, for I felt it too many times. When I was a child, I used to be okay with being vulnerable and cried whenever I felt like I wanted, which sadly was a lot of times since it didn't take much to make me feel that way. Seeing a homeless person on the street begging for some money and being disrespectfully denied again and again. Seeing news of some flood in a distant region that led to countless people becoming gravely injured, or even accidentally dropping or hitting one of my toys and feeling like I had hurt them, even if it was unintentional, was enough to make me feel sad. My sister and parents used to make fun of me for crying an entire night because of this movie we were watching when I was really young, in which the dad loved his daughter so dearly despite all the challenges he faced, and it was enough to move me in such a way that it brought tears to my eyes. But to others, it was just that, something to laugh and make fun of me about. Soon it evolved from that to a nuisance. Now it wasn't funny that I cared so much, but it was frustrating to them because, according to them, I cared too much. I wasn't someone who was naive anymore, and in their eyes, I was just a crybaby. In fact, it only led them to be a bit meaner to me because, in their defense, they didn't like it and found it annoying. I had always sadly felt, and rightfully so, because of the way that I had been brought up, that if I didn't please them enough to like me, then I wouldn't be loved. I don't think it ever worked, but I used to believe in the false hope that maybe someday I would feel like I was loved too. So I changed myself with much effort and kept my tears to myself. I wasn't able to stop feeling so much, so I just got good at hiding it from prying eyes. I would control it all and let it boil up until it was time to sleep, and then I would cover myself with the sheets fully and bury my face in the pillow and scream and cry silently till I fell asleep. I know that it was evident. I know that anyone could have seen my trembling form or heard my muffled sobs or the way my voice broke or hissed as I tried to let no sound out of my inaudible screams. No one cared enough to say anything about it, since it was no longer an interruption to their daily routine. In front of them, I had become a robot, so much so that when I couldn't hold back my tears while talking about a deeply emotional and extremely serious situation regarding a close family member back in 8th grade, then my sister's first reaction was to say, "Oh, you can cry too," before they said there was no reason for me to act so sentimental about it. Yet again, even though I had basically forced myself to muster up the courage to be vulnerable in a very long time, so that just made me more closed off. It was as if being programmed to be the most tolerable a child could get. It felt bad to be in a household where basically everyone else was allowed and able to express their feelings and emotions, whether it be happiness, anger, or sadness, except me, even though I was the kid, and therefore I should have been allowed to make more mistakes and be unapologetically myself, because that's how kids are and that's how they grow and learn. But you know what you get when all your efforts go into making the most tolerable child. You get a child who is unusually quiet and afraid to speak about their opinions, thoughts, and feelings, who is afraid of standing up for themselves or what they believe is right or wrong. They feel distant in every place and with every person, and they feel like it's a crime to be themselves. You get a shell of a human because humans, by their nature, are annoying. So that was what I became, a shell of a human, till you decided that that doesn't work in your favor anymore and make me feel like a monster while you refuse to take accountability that you are responsible for creating this person you call a freak. It feels bad, you know. It feels really bad. I feel lost and broken, and I've felt that way since I was 11. but you've only ever seen it as a bad attitude. I wanted you to help, not make me feel worse. I don't even have such expectations anymore. I've been used, abused, taken advantage of, and torn apart to shreds just because my heart was a little open. My arms were ready to provide the comfort that they were never given, and I was never able to stop caring and feeling so much. It feels so unjust to be empathetic in an apathetic world.